Hello. I'm going to be reading from Toni Morrison's first novel, The Bluest Eye. When she finished, I went to look for Frida. I found her upstairs lying on our bed, crying the tired, whimpering cry that follows the first wailings, mostly gasps and shudderings. I lay on the bed and look at the tiny bunches of roses sprinkled over her dress. Many washings had faded their color and dimmed their outlines. What happened, Frida? She lifted a swollen face from the crook of her arm, shuddering still. She sat up, letting her thin legs dangle over the bedside. I knelt on the bed and picked up the hem of my dress to wipe her running nose. She never liked wiping noses on clothes, but this time she let me. It was the way Mama did it with her apron. Did you get a whipping? She shook her head no. Then why are you crying? Because. Because what? Mr. Henry. What did he do? Daddy beat him up. What for? The Maginot Line? Did he find out about the Maginot Line? No. Well, what then? Come on, Frida. How come I can't know? He uh, he picked at me. Picked at you? You mean like Soaphead Church? Sort of. He showed his privates at you? No. He touched me. Where? Here and here. She pointed to the tiny breasts that, like two fallen acorns, scattered a few faded rose leaves on her dress. Really? How did it feel? Oh, Claudia. She sounded put out. I wasn't asking the right questions. It didn't feel like anything. But wasn't it supposed to? Feel good, I mean? Frida sucked her teeth. What did he do? Just walk up and pinch them? She sighed. First, he said how pretty I was. Then he grabbed my arm and touched me. Where was Mama and Daddy? Over at the garden weeding. What did you say when he did it? Nothing. I just ran out the kitchen and went to the garden. Mama said we was never cross the tracks by ourselves. Well, what would you do? Sit there and let him pinch you? I looked at my chest. I don't have nothing to pinch. I'm never going to have nothing. Oh, Claudia, you're jealous of everything. You want him to? No, I just get tired of having everything last. You do not. What about scarlet fever? You had that first. Yes, but it didn't last. Anyway, what happened at the garden? I told Mama and she told Daddy, and we all come home and he was gone. So we waited for him. And when Daddy saw him come up the porch, he threw our old tricycle at his head and knocked him off the porch. Did he die? No, he got up and started singing Near to My God to Thee. Then Mama hit him with a broom and told him to keep the Lord's name out of his mouth, but he wouldn't stop. And Daddy was cussing and everybody was screaming. Oh, shoot, I always miss stuff. And Mr. Buford came running out with his gun, and Mama told him to go somewhere and sit down. And Daddy said, no, give him the gun. And Mr. Buford did, and Mama screamed. And Mr. Henry shut up and started running, and Daddy shot at him. And Mr. Henry jumped out of his shoes and kept running in the socks. Then Rosemary came out and said that Daddy was going to go to jail. And I hit her real hard, real hard. Is that when Mama whipped you? She didn't whip me, I told you. Then why are you crying? Miss Dunion came out after everybody was quiet, and Mama and Daddy was fussing about who let Mr. Henry in anyway, and she said that Mama should take me to the doctor because I might be ruined. And Mama started screaming all over again. Are you? No, at Miss Dunion. No, but why are you crying? I don't want to be ruined. What's ruined? You know, like the Maginot Line. She's ruined. Mama said so. The tears came back. An image of Frida, big and fat, came to mind. Her thin legs swollen, her face surrounded by layers of rouged skin. I too began to feel the tears. But Frida, you could exercise and not eat.